Hey guys, I thought it was time that I actually went ahead and gave an in-depth book tour. So I'm going to go through my shelves one by one and kind of give you a breakdown of all the books that I have and why I have so many of a same cover, etc. And we'll just go ahead and start here at the bottom and work our way up. So we'll start over here where we have Lizzie's Story. I have the hardcover and the larger size. I don't know what this is called. Is this called a trade? But the larger one. Those are the only two I have. This one is the one that when you take off the cover, it has all the really pretty artwork underneath it. I almost want to get another copy of this just to have without the dust jacket to display that artwork. And it's so pretty. And then we have the Institute, and I haven't read quite a few of these, but I still, of course, have them, right next to Sleeping Beauties. These are two of the most recent ones I've added to my collection. They were his newer ones I hadn't had a chance to come across in the wild. Then we have Insomnia, and we have a couple different versions of that, as well as we have the hardcover one where they inverted it, where it's red and then white and etc. And I really like the way that looks on a shelf. Then we come over here to Under the Dome. We have 1 and 2, and then the larger trade again, I guess. And then we have 2 hardcovers. Slightly different print. One is actually embossed, one is not. One's kind of shiny and one's white. So then we go up to my Eyes of the Dragon. And for Eyes of the Dragon, we have 2 of the hardcover ones. And the thing about Eyes of the Dragon is we've actually got one of them. You can't really tell it, but this is smooth, and this one actually has like a scale texture to it, so that's kind of cool. Then we have a French copy. It's not such a unique cover, but it still has the same artwork on the inside, which is cool. We also have a paperback French copy, and then we have the different paperback editions. Here's another green one. And this one, actually, you can see kind of the scaly cover. And then here's the black one with the same dragon on it. And then before I put those back up, I'll show ahead and show you the Dreamcatcher ones. So here we have the regular large hardcover. And then this one is a smaller book club edition. And this is actually the large print edition. And then here we have it in Italian. And this is the new one I got just earlier today in the what is it, gallery books. Paperback, and then we'll go backwards. Here's the VHS, and then 2 DVDs. One is full screen, one is widescreen, and then the Japanese books. And the thing I like about the Japanese books is they all actually, let me focus here, go together to make one big picture. And I don't have number 1, but I'm still looking for it. So that's my Dreamcatcher section. And then the other books that I have on this shelf, I'll just bring them down here, are a little bit different. They're his kind of random size ones, like the Colorado Kid, Elevation, Joyland, Gwendy's Button Box, and then Umney's Last Case. And this one's just a teeny tiny one. So that's kind of my miscellaneous size shelf. There's actually a book box set on Amazon that I'm interested in getting. It's only like $35, but it's like the Colorado Kid, Joyland, Later. It might just be those 3, but yeah, it's on my wish list. Then we'll come over to this shelf here, where down here on the bottom we have Cycle of the Werewolf, and one is the original edition that when it first came out, and then one is the later reprint. And then we also have the movie where it was retitled Silver Bullet. Great movie, by the way. Highly recommend it. Busey's at his greatest. And then here we actually have a German copy of it. Then we have Cujo. We have a re-release. And then the original paperback. And then the hardcover. And this one may actually be a book club. Nope, it's not a book club edition. And it once apparently belonged to a John Patterson. So, John, if you're out there, say hi. Then we have our Firestarter. And like I've said in the past, Firestarter is very important to me because it's actually one of the first Stephen King books I ever read, as well as the movie had a big impact on me. So we've got a UK hardcover, US hardcover, and then a trade or a book club, a VHS, DVD. Then we've got paperback editions, and they're the same ones where it's got the face in the flames. This one is like one of the original ones I had. There was one of the first ones in my collection. It's kind of beat up. This one is brand new, pristine. I found it at a used bookstore in Colorado, so that's why I have two of those copies. Then, of course, the black one is a different cover. And then we have, these covers here, the movie, this one, and here. And then we also have a French copy. So as you can see, I also really like to collect foreign versions. And then here we have the Dead Zone. And granted, I don't have all of the TV series or even the original movie. I'm looking for the original movie. I don't know if I'll necessarily go out of my way to find the TV series. If I come across it, I might pick it up, but I'm not like super excited to look for it. Then we have these two covers here. And I don't know if you can see it really well, but one is shiny, the other one is it's a slightly different sheen. Like one is a matte and one is a super glossy. It's hard to show on the camera. And then we have this cover where it's just the wheel, and then the movie tie-in, and then we have these covers, and everyone's like, oh, they're the same cover, but they're really not. This one is from the author of It, this is from the author of The Shining and the Stand, and this is from the author of Pet Sematary. So I don't know if that means they're different releases or what that means, but I collect all the covers, and I just happen to notice stuff like that. Then we have the UK edition, and I just love the shininess of the name and then the picture on there. And then we have just another Dead Zone. It's a later release, not from the author of anyone. It's just a slightly different color with the blue. It's just, then you can kind of see how it's different compared to that one. Then we have, the re-releases that they did later on. This one is just one that doesn't have a dust jacket. I'm thinking of making like an art project with it, but it's basically this book here, which is the book club edition. And then I have these two hardcovers, full-size hardcovers. This is actually a book club edition as well. And then this one is actually just the regular mass market one. So that's kind of interesting. You don't usually see the book club editions being the same size, but I guess it sometimes happens in the older ones. So yeah, that's the Dead Zone. Then we come up here to what I call my Bachman shelf. And we'll just kind of go through these fairly fast. Here we have, the Bachman books, which includes Rage, which is the book that is no longer in circulation. It's really a unique one to get. On my wish list, number one is a paperback copy of Rage, US version. Number two, paperback copy of Rage, UK version. Good luck finding that in the wild. Then we have Thinner. And Thinner, I've got these two here. One is for the mass market. One is actually a book club edition. And the book club edition I got at Half Price Books just recently in Kansas City. Beautiful condition book, really cheap, like $10-15. Then we have the re-release where it was Stephen King writing as Richard Bachman with the blue hand. The movie, the bigger edition, the movie tie-in, the red hand paperback, skeletal hand, and then the blue Stephen King hand. So that's Thinner. And, I think it's kind of an underrated movie. The special effects weren't that great, but I think if they remade it, that it could be done really well. The white man from town. So it might be worth them looking into that. Here we have Blaze. I have not read. The Long Walk. And keep in mind that most of these are in the Bachman books. The Running Man, the movie, which isn't anything really like the story. Then we have The Running Man, the book, and then the movie tie-in, and then another thin one, it's interesting to have, it's this little thin one here, but they fill out the same book. And then we have the Roadwork, and this is The Running Man in, I want to say, German. And then we have his other book as Bachman, Roadwork, and I don't actually have a Bachman version, just the Stephen King re-release. And then again, these two, the reason why, one is shiny and one is not. So I think you can kind of see it better on this one. And then that brings us up here, excuse me while I stand, to The last one of the last Bachman books, The Regulators, also, and then they re-released it under Stephen King, so you can see all those copies there. And this is the different sized, let me pull this off. This is the different size hardcover. I've seen several posts about this. So here is the regular size books together between Stephen King's Desperation and Bachman's The Regulators, and how the covers go together. And then there's this little bitty Bachman Regulator that you can compare it to Desperation. They still kind of go together, but not quite the same. And the thing is, this was a book club edition. And unfortunately, there is not an alternative small version of Desperation to go with this one. And I don't know why they did that. I find it kind of disappointing. I have never been able to find one. And from what I've been told on the forums that I've been on, it doesn't exist. But then we do have these other copies over here. And this cover go together. And then this is one's shiny, one's not shiny. So there again, there's a slight difference. And then we'll come over here to the Shining section. Now this corner here is the Holy Trinity. It's his first three books, Carrie, Salem's Lot, and The Shining. And here we have the Shining and Dr. Sleep. We've got the movie, we've got the pops, the bottle of ketchup from when we stayed at the Stanley, book of photos from the Stanley, the room key, all the pops, the movie, the masks I got, the information from when we stayed at the Stanley, the map, the Mad magazine, postcards, room number. And then see, the thing is, the movie was filmed in a hotel in Oregon, even though the book was written at a hotel in Colorado. And when King wrote the book, he was in 217. And so when they filmed the movie in the hotel in Oregon, they actually had a room 217. So they didn't want to use the room 217 because they didn't want to scare away guests. So they changed it to 237 for the movie. That's why it's different in the movie than it is in the book. Most King people and fans know that, but not everyone does. So that's just a little bit of trivia there. Then down here we have Salem's Lot. And we just have some various covers here. This is kind of like a pop funk cover. And this here is interesting. It's a hardcover book club edition. And apparently, I did not know this, but there's a version of this one out there that has a misprint. Instead of saying Father Callahan's name on the inside cover, it calls him like Father Clay or something. So I'm going to keep an eye out for that. Then we just have, the different re-releases, movie tie-in, the original one here where, it's drinking the blood. So, classic. And then again, Pop is not Stephen King. It is actually The Strain, but, kind of fits in. But we do have the Carrie Pop. And then this is the collection that I got earlier today where it's all three of them together. And then we have the different Carries. And we have a hardcover without a jacket, VHS, DVD, French. None of the covers are super exciting on these, unfortunately. We do have this little reader's voice one. It's just a little abbreviated version of the book. Really quick read. We do have a movie tie-in of Carrie as well to go along with the pop. There's Bigfoot. Then we have Revival, and we have it in English. These two, the covers are slightly different. I don't know one if it's the misprint, but the colors are different. We have a Chinese, a Polish, and then an English. Duma Key, Rose Matter. Got a couple different versions of that. Then we have 11/22/63 with a bottle of Moxie. Now, I'm actually looking for a European version of this where the order of the date is actually 22/11/63. They're actually out there. I have not been able to find one yet, but that's what I'm looking for. Then we have The Outsider, and we have the hardcover, the bigger mass market trade or whatever it's called, and then the paperback, and this is the one that has the sticker on it that says like HBO or whatever. Girl That Loves Tom Gordon. We have the pop-up book, the hardcover, the paperbacks, and then, two of the other paperbacks. I believe one of these might actually be a UK paperback, but I'm not sure which one. And then we have a Buick 8. Now, this one here is actually a UK version. And that's what it looks like. And then we have just two other paperbacks. And this one may also, this one is also a UK version. So I don't know how I got two UKs. I just randomly came across those. Then we have Christine, hardcover, and then movie tie-in. Shiny, Not Shiny. This one is also the mid-90s release cover. The DVD, and then in Spanish. Back here is the jar of all the random stuff that I found in my books that I've bought over the years. So receipts, coupons, whatever people have put in there. I even have a couple 4-leaf clovers that I've got saved in my wallet that I carry around for luck that somebody left in one of their books. Got Dark Half. One. Now, the reason I have two of these, one is actually a good copy, one's a beat up copy that if I ever need to borrow one or give to someone, it's just not in really great condition. The movie tie-in, again, the 90s release. The traditional, this is the one where it's the two sparrows. And then, this one here, this is the non-shiny one. The shiny one's out there. I haven't got it yet. My USB glowing red balloon. Then we have Needful Things. Now, these two covers are hardcovers. One's kind of, they're different colors. One's a darker one. I don't know if you can really tell. This one's darker than this one. This is more of a gold. Then we have two paperbacks. These two are actually the same. One's in just slightly better condition, and then I keep one just in case I need to give it away. These two is shiny, non-shiny. Movie tie-in, and then these two are the French covers. And in these ones, unfortunately, they don't go together to make one picture like they do in the Japanese ones. Then over here we have the Talisman, and we have the traditional hardcover, and then the re-release that kind of goes with this Black House here. And then I also have the Talisman comics, and we have the Black House, and we have two of these the same. One of these is actually a gift, so I'm hanging on to that. Then we have the white version. A smaller black version, same deal here. It's a book club edition. Then we have the paperback Talisman that goes with these down here. And then the re-release. And then here's a UK Black House. And then a US Black House paperback. Then, second shelf. Dolores Claiborne, hardcover movie tie-in, the releases. Gerald's Game, I put these two together because, they kind of go together in the story-wise, taking place around the same time on Little Tall Island. Handcuffs go with Gerald Game. Then we have Pet Cemetery here and the Pops. Now, people are like, why do you have these two here? These are book club's editions. Now, the difference is that one of them, like this one here, has a misprint. It says 1982 when it's talking about Tabitha's book, A Small World. And this one is the correct one, where it actually says 1983. So I don't think the misprint's actually worth anything, but I wanted it in my collection. Then we have the VHS to go with the DVD to go with the VHS, and then the movie. The classic, cat howling cover paperback. Then we go over here to The Green Mile, one of my favorite King books, adaptations, whatever collections. Movies, I think it was one of the best ones they've ever done. And so we have here the hardcover, the all-in-one book that comes in the slipcase, a paperback. We have a UK Green Mile, and then we have a Greek version. Up here we have the box set came with the 6 and the screensaver. Then we have an audiobook, a DVD, and then a VHS still in the wrapping. Then we have the individual books as well. The movie tie-in, and then the one that was released before the movie came out, and then the movie screenplay. Then we have the Bill Hodges trilogy, and I've got 3 of Mr. Mercedes, the hardcover, the medium-sized one, and then the kind of larger paperback. Finders Keepers, I do not have the hardcover, but then I've got the medium size and the smaller one. And Devacha, I've got hardcover and then the smaller one. Bag of Bones, I've got, a hardcover and then a smaller paperback, but still a pretty large size, along with the regular paperback that came in, regular traditional first issue paperback cover. Then for sale, I've got hardcover and then a book club edition, and this is the large print one. We also have, the mid-size release, and then this one here, which is kind of fun because it has the cell phone on the front, and then it's got the little window, and you open it up. So I think Cell's kind of underrated. It's not the best Stephen King movie adaptation, but I kind of enjoyed it. Then we have the Tommy Knockers. Now, I'm probably not going to pull these out because they're kind of a pain at this angle. But the reason there's three of these, one of them's an extra one that's in slightly better condition because you may not note the covers, they have Stephen King's name in them, and they're kind of in the metallic, but they rub off really easily. So I got one in really good condition and one that's kind of in iffy condition. And there's also a variance. There's a red and a gold, and these two are the gold ones. Then we have the alien head cover, the kind of more original paperback one, and then these two as well. Then we come up here to the collection shelf, and we have Night Shift. And this one is one of my favorite ones. I picked this up for $10 in Minneapolis. And then we have the eyes in the punch out, and then you open up the cover, and then it's got the hand with all the eyes. Oh, let's see here. There you go. And then I actually have the cover like that. Then we have, the 90s release one where it's got like the devil on it. And then we also have Children of the Corn. And then we have a Japanese Children of the Corn, the movie Children of the Corn 2, and then just the DVD of Children of the Corn. Then up there we have Skeleton Crew. And I don't have the cloth monkey with symbols, but I'm looking for one. But I've got these two. One's a Pop Funko from a video game, and the other one is just a mechanical wind-up monkey with symbols. But then it's got one of my favorite stories in there, The Mist, and I've got two DVDs. One is, of course, widescreen, and one is full screen. Pretty much, if you ever see two DVDs in a collection in my collection, just assume that's what it is. It's also got the little novella, The Mist, Skeleton Crew with the monkeys, one in red, one in yellow. I had been looking for the red one for a while and found that on a trip recently. Then it's got two of the greens, one shiny, one not shiny, and the hardcover, of course. And then we come down here to Just After Sunset. In this one, we've got a Japanese version, the larger one, the comic book end to go with it. These two here, which is different covers, and one of them is a book club edition, one is not. Full Dark No Stars, hardcover paperback. Nightmares and Dreamscapes, I've got a couple of those. I've got the UK hardcover and the US one, and then a couple of paperbacks. One's a reading copy, one's a borrowing copy. Night Flyer, Quicksilver Highway, those all are stories from that book. And then we also have the TV series, Nightmares and Dreamscapes. One of those is the whole season together in 3 discs, and then one of them is just like one of the discs from a previous collection. So I can actually clear that out and make a little room. Then we come over here to Everything's Eventual, which includes 1408 and Riding the Bullet. I've got those two together there. Shawshank Redemption, my second favorite Stephen King movie. Also have the screenplay there by Frank Darabont. Hardcover or paperback cover that ties into the movie. DVD. 2 VHSs, I believe there again, widescreen, etc. Stand By Me. Now these are the same edition, they're just different studio releases, so the boxes are slightly different. This is a CD of the music, so that's also really cool. And then these are books that are advertising it, Stand By Me, the movie. Here it is in Italian, I believe. And then up here we have where these stories come from, different seasons, hardcover, couple of a library edition, an Italian edition, a German edition that's only got 2 of the stories, the different color editions that originally came out, including the black one. Then we have Apt Pupil and an Apt Pupil movie tie-in book, which is another from the storyline that was made into a movie. I don't think I've actually seen that movie. Then 2 of his box sets, number 3 and number 6. And I'm not sure how many they are, but they are all numbered as far as I'm aware. So I'm keeping an eye out for those. Then we have Hearts in Atlantis. We've got the hardcover book club edition. That's the one name is kind of shinier than the other. The paperback, the movie, and the movie tie-in. And then there again, the different movies. And then we have Bizarre of Bad Dreams, which includes Blockade Billy. Kept those together. And then we have 4 Past Midnight, which also has a couple of my best favorite movies in there. The Langoliers, there it is. We've got 2 VHS copies of those. I keep those just because, you don't see those in the wild very often. The movie tie-in, then the regular cover, soft cover one, and then one's a library binding, And then Secret Window, the short story, also the movie with Johnny Depp. Then we got that release version cover. I really enjoy that line. I've only got a few of those, unfortunately, in my collection, but I'm always looking to add more. And right now I'm going to go ahead and stop that video right now. This is my Stephen King collection and story section. I'm going to have another video coming out including It, The Stand, and some of his other movies that I have. But I think this one's gone on long enough. So hope everyone's staying safe and keep reading.